There's no silly question. The chamber industry is so unique and it's really unlike any other. Taking advantage of that network that you have, and if you don't already have a network, reach out, to your fellow chamber champions, and don't be embarrassed. Everyone who is in a position where they are now has likely already gone through the things that somebody newer to the chamber industry is going through now. So I would just say don't be shy and lean on your people.
This is the Chamber Chat Podcast, the show dedicated to chamber professionals to spark ideas and to get actionable tips and strategies to better serve your members and community. Hello, Chamber Champions. Welcome to Chamber Chat Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Burton, and here on the podcast, I introduce you to people and ideas to better help you serve your chamber members and your community. Our guest for this episode is Karyn MacRae. Karyn is the Senior Director of Institute for Organization Management at the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's Professional Development Program for associations, chamber, and other nonprofit executives. Since 1921, Institute has educated leaders from across the country, making it one of the oldest and best regarded adult education programs in nonprofit management. Karyn is responsible for setting the strategic direction and vision of Institute, in addition to managing the day-to-day operations of the program. She serves as a liaison to the Institute volunteer groups, the National Board of Trustees, 4 boards of regent and class advisors, and also works on program logistics, including contract management. She is a graduate of James Madison University, and in addition to her IOM recognition, she holds the Certified Association Executive and Certified Meeting Professional credentials. But Karyn, I am excited to have you with us today here on Chamber Chat Podcast. I'd love to give you an opportunity to say hello to all the chamber champions who are out there listening and to share something interesting about yourself so we can all get to know you a little better.
Great. Thank you, Brandon. And thank you for the opportunity to be here on the Chamber Chat podcast. I'm very excited. And hello to all of the Chamber champions. Something interesting about myself is that I love to dance. I grew up dancing when I was younger. I actually went into college as a dance minor. I ended up dropping it, but I love everything about it. And a couple of years ago, started taking adult dance classes at the same studio where my daughters take classes too. So love to dance.
Very cool. And I hate dancing, so I'm glad there's something out there for everybody, right? Oh, that's great. So I like when I have a guest on, usually I have them share a little bit about their chamber, their organization, but why don't you just from a high level, tell us about the IOM program, that institute. I know a lot of people find this podcast when they're brand new to the chamber industry, and maybe it'd be helpful to kind of help set the stage with what the institute program is before we dive into our discussion today.
Sure, absolutely. So the Institute program, or as you mentioned in my introduction, Institute for Organization Management is its full name. It is a professional development program of the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. So we are located in Washington, D.C., while the U.S. Chamber has a staff of about 500. On the Institute team, we actually have 5 of us. So a small but mighty group. And we are about $1 million shop on the Institute side. And the program itself is for chamber professionals as well as associations and nonprofits. I recognize all the chamber champions, listeners of your
That's right.
podcast, are on the chamber side, but we do have the opportunity for associations and general nonprofits to join as well. And the program teaches anything and everything that a chamber professional would need to know, would want to know about how to better run their organization. So there are classes on leadership and finance and management and non-dues revenue and all the different areas that you can think about. It is a 4-year program, or excuse me, it is a 4-week program. We are actually in the process of reframing our language, so I'm still getting used to it. But it is
Okay.
a 4-week program that takes place at 4 different locations throughout the year. A unique element is that they all take place on college campuses. So from the get go, you are in that learner mindset. It's not like your typical conference where you're in and out of a hotel ballroom. You are actually in the classroom on a college campus. So it takes you back for sure. At the end of the 4 weeks, attendees will have completed 96 credit hours of continuing education and they will earn the IOM recognition. So is a commitment, that's for sure. But in a nutshell, it is professional development and an opportunity to network and to build your relationships with other chamber professionals from across the country.
That's a great high level introduction. And today we'll be diving in more in depth about the benefits of attending Institute. And for those, depending on the organization they're coming from, even looking at some creative ways to be able to help get you there. So we'll dive in deeper on that as soon as we get back from this quick break.
Hi, I'm Joe.
And I'm Rose.
And we're the founders of At My Community, a mobile app that can be customized to meet the unique needs of your Chamber of Commerce.
When we started At My Community, we envisioned a tool that would help communities thrive by simplifying communication and enhancing engagement. Chambers of Commerce face unique challenges, and we're here to help you tackle them.
At My Community helps the Evergreen Area Chamber of Commerce to create an app that keeps tourists informed even when their office is closed. They provide 24/7 access to local business information, which helps support the local economy and community engagement.
In Rocky Mountain House, we helped Rocky Chamber create an app with dynamic itineraries and digital resources for tourists, increasing local business engagement. The app has become an essential tool for the community, promoting events and boosting visibility for local merchants.
Today, we empower more than 200 chambers of commerce, campgrounds, and RV resorts to streamline communication, informing members about events, sharing business updates, and providing a digital hub for the community, all in one convenient app.
When you partner with At My Community, our team works closely with you to create an app that meets your chamber's unique needs. As your community grows, our app evolves with you. We are here to ensure you engage effectively with your members and streamline your operations.
Schedule a demo today at atmycommunity.com.
We can't wait to meet you.
Are you ready to take your organization's funding to the next level? Hi, I'm Clint Neesmith, CEO of Resource Development Group. As a Chamber of Commerce or Economic Development Organization leader, I know you understand the value of working with experts who understand your world. And that's exactly what RDG does best. For over 30 years, RDG has specialized in fundraising for EDOs and chambers. We bring cutting-edge strategies tailored to your organization, whether you're just starting out or gearing up for yet another new funding cycle. Importantly, our firm executives are hands-on from start to finish, from the feasibility study to the successful conclusion of your fundraising campaign, and our team brings deep industry roots and national expertise to every engagement. No matter the size of your community, RDG delivers data-driven, innovative revenue solutions, reinforcing ROI to investors and making sure your vision becomes reality. At RDG, we proudly build organizations that build communities. Visit us today at rdgfundraising.com and let us partner with you, building a stronger future for your organization and the community you are working to grow and develop.
All right, Karyn, we're back. So as I mentioned before the break, we're diving into the benefits of attending the Institute program.
Mhm.
And you gave a great breakdown of what Institute is and being a 4-week program. So still, for clarification, still spread out over 4 years, though. Is that right? So you
Yes,
still go there. So
yes. So it is
you can't
offered
stack and do 4 weeks in
four
a row.
times
Yeah.
a year. So essentially, you could go to all 4 in one calendar year. That is a lofty way to do it. However, there is no wrong way to institute.
Very good. So I just diving in, I mean, one of the maybe more obvious things that I see as far as a benefit from Institute is the relationships that come out of it, with classmates and facilitators, and it really helps professionals develop their tribe, their people that they can lean on, that they can, bounce ideas off of, because they kind of go through somewhat of a fire together as they work on these programs and projects together. But from your perspective, as you guys organize and facilitate the program, how do you see the value points, and what do you guys target, I guess, to be the value and the outcome for those that attend?
Yeah, absolutely. And you hit the nail on the head, Brandon. The networking and the relationship building is a huge benefit that people get from attending Institute. We hear from our graduates, our current students, that the opportunities that they get at both the professional and personal level are really second to none. So people graduate, you have this cohort that you can go through the program with. We try to keep the classes a little bit smaller. There have been some larger classes in the phase, I would say, if you get a good crop of first year attendees, people coming for the first time, which we love. But it's about 50 or so people or less per class. So we try to keep it small enough that you feel like you can not only have an opportunity to ask questions, to share your ideas and feedback, but that it's really a safe space. We want people to be able to have those difficult conversations because, like you said, people are going through, putting out fires together. So really having that opportunity to have a safe place and a trusted network of peers to be able to talk freely is a really, really big benefit. I mentioned earlier that there's no wrong way, to Institute. So you can choose to go through the program by picking the same site and going once per calendar year. So in that case, you would be going over the course of 4 years. There is an opportunity to attend multiple sites in a given year. That's what we call fast tracking. And we have seen a higher percentage of people do that since coming back from COVID, honestly. And there are benefits to doing both. One of the benefits of sticking with your same people throughout the entire 4 years is that you are able to develop these deeper bonds and relationships through interaction with the same people. But on the flip side, you meet that many more people by going to different sites and you can still develop the relationships. Absolutely. It's amazing, honestly, to see. You're really only together for 5 days in person for each Institute week. And it seems like people have been, contacts and friends and colleagues for years, even though it's only
Yeah.
been a couple of days. So it's really neat. I don't want to give the impression that an attendee can't develop those strong and deep relationships if they go to multiple sites. That's absolutely not true. So for sure, the relationship building, that is a big, big benefit that we highlight and that we hear from all of our attendees that go through the program. Another benefit is the education, the professional development, the continuing education. Our classes are taught by a variety of different faculty members, many of whom you've had as guests on your show before. So we love the crossover, but they really are the experts. So we have a variety of different categories. Our industry consultants who go around and specialize in this area for chambers and nonprofits. So they know what they're talking about. Another group, of course, are our practitioners. So those fellow chamber professionals and associations, and they are in the trenches day in and day out. So for sure, I say the consultants are the experts, and no disrespect to them, they are. And our practitioners really are the ones who are dealing with all of the issues and the concerns and the triumphs and everything that our attendees are going through. Our practitioners are also going through as well. We also have our experts who are actual CPAs who teach the finance classes, lawyers teach the law classes, etc. So they're credentialed in their specific field. And then we have a smaller group sometimes of university professors as well as US Chamber and US Chamber Foundation staff who teach some of the classes too. So you're getting a wide variety of experience and knowledge from across the country. That's another benefit, is that it's a national program. So attendees and faculty members and our volunteers are coming from all different areas, even though we do have 4 sites that are broken down and placed by geography. The attendee base doesn't necessarily stay in that geographic area. So that's another benefit for sure, is getting a wider exposure to
Yeah.
all different parts of the country.
Yeah.
And hearing from peers. It's not just the faculty. It's that
Right.
peer-to-peer sharing that we love and that our attendees love, because whether you are brand new to the industry, like you said, you have a lot of chamber champions who are just getting their feet wet and trying to learn more about the industry. And we always recommend that they go to Institute
That's
selfishly.
right.
One of the really, really neat things is that, yes, we do have some attendees on that side. And then on the other side, we have our industry veterans who have been in these roles, have been running chambers, maybe even have started out at the entry level and have worked their way up to president and CEO of their chamber. And they're in the class together, they're in the same cohort. So being able to share ideas with one another, the veterans can learn just as much from the newbies and vice versa. So really having those opportunities it's a big benefit. And then as far as who we target, it's everyone, honestly. Like I said, there are a whole variety of levels of experience. So if you work for a chamber or a trade association or a nonprofit, then you are the perfect person to come to Institute. It's anyone who's looking to improve their organization, thus obviously improving their members and their communities. Anyone looking to grow their network, anyone looking to share ideas and get more ideas, hear from other chamber professionals in the industry. As you know, it's a unique industry. So getting that opportunity and having that safe space to really be with your people, your
Mhm.
village, as you mentioned earlier.
That's right. Well,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'm so glad that we have you on the show, because when I first started Chamber Chat, my experience was working as a chamber publisher, and I would meet chambers of all different sizes and experience, and some were really doing well, and I could tell by my interaction with their members, right? The
Mhm.
members understood what the chamber's mission was, what they were doing, their purpose going forward, where some other chambers kind of struggled a little bit. And as I met with their members, they're like, I pay my dues, but I don't see anything out of it. I don't even know what the chamber does. The more I kind of learned about it and dove into it, I realized those chambers that were struggling, they didn't go to Institute. They didn't have, maybe their board didn't allow for them to, have the funding to go to their state conferences, or some regional conferences or things of that nature where they can learn from their peers. And as we've mentioned before, a lot of newcomers to the industry find the podcast, and it's part of their hydration as they drink through a fire hose, is just getting all this information. But
Mhm.
to have this be one of those key elements that they learn about early in their chamber journey, in their experience in the industry, I think is so important to help them be able to get educated and to be able to build those connections, build that tribe, because so often in your community, you're the only one in the community that's doing your job. And if you can lean upon others, yes, you will have a board and things like that, but some things you don't want to take to your board because
Sure.
maybe it reduces confidence in you as a leader. But if you can go to a peer in the industry who's seen what you're talking about, they can help give some ideas and a fresh perspective on how to approach some of these things. So you've hit on a lot of these great benefits, and I'm sure we'll touch on some more as well. But um, I want to I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to touch on, for those maybe smaller chambers, those who are, I'll say, a little underserved, which is why the podcast became something. Can we speak to them for a minute about how to get involved? How can they have those conversations with their board? How can they find the funding? What are some ways that they can set that goal to attend Institute and to get to that finish line to actually go and attend?
Absolutely. So, of course, there is a tuition to attend. And in addition to that, we do have other expenses because it takes place at 4 different locations. There is usually, unless it's in your backyard, travel involved. So you have to get yourself there. There's lodging, there's incidentals, etc. So we definitely understand that funding can be a barrier to entry for some organizations. And there are a variety of ways. We do offer institute scholarships. We actually just passed the deadline, unfortunately, for the 3 summer sites that are coming up. But we do have our winter site taking place in January of 27, and those scholarship opportunities will open in July. So for anyone listening who might be interested, be on the lookout for that. So Institute does have a couple of different scholarships, and those are all funded on site by generous attendees, by volunteers, by faculty, by staff, people who would like to and are in a position where they're able to give back. So we do have a silent auction, and we have additional other on-site fundraising opportunities. And that money is all distributed in the form of institute scholarships for the specific site in which it is earned the year after. So that is for sure. Institute scholarships are one opportunity. Also, state organizations. So we do have partnerships with many of the state CCEs across the country. And if anyone is involved in your state CCE, I highly recommend communicating with them and seeing if they have any available funding. If they do go through our formal state partner scholarship partnership with the U.S. Chamber, they are given a $500 tuition scholarship to award to a first-time attendee. So that is a formalized scholarship process through Institute that is all the deliberations and everything is awarded by that state CCE organization. In addition to that, sometimes the CCEs have additional scholarships that aren't technically through Institute, but they have funding available for professional development programs, one of which can be Institute. So I obviously can't speak to all of the CCEs, but I
Right.
do know that opportunities are available. And we have heard from many attendees that they were able to get additional funding, not through Institute, but rather their state CCE organization. So that's definitely an option. And something that we're hearing more and more about that honestly, I will say I had not heard of this and I had not realized this. And I'm slightly embarrassed because I've been here for so long. Until a few years ago, I learned this, that some of our volunteers and attendees
Yeah.
have gotten their tuition funded by a member. They have gone to a local utility company is one that we've heard a lot of, but a local member and have said, hey, there's this opportunity. I need some assistance financially. And, here are the benefits. Here's what I can take back and apply to produce ROI for our community and for your business. Would you be interested in helping to sponsor me? So what I have heard from those people who have had that opportunity to have a local member sponsor them is that after the first year of the program, or should I say first week, excuse me, they have taken the ideas learned and applied them, and the ROI that has come out of it has been so great or so impactful that their board at the chamber has been like, okay, I see what you're talking about. I see the benefit. We will make it a point to find the money and budget for the professional development for years or weeks 2 through 4. So of course, that's a perfect ideal scenario. I recognize that doesn't always
Right.
happen, but we have heard that it can happen. Utilizing, your network within your own community and reaching out. We do have a couple of testimonials available on our website, and certainly happy to make connections if someone is struggling and would like a little bit more guidance or, advice on that. Also utilizing our volunteer network. Our volunteers are amazing. Again, many of which have been guests on your
Right.
show already. So they are all graduates of the program and they want to give back. I can sit here and talk about all the benefits of Institute, and I do, obviously, but I get paid to do that. Whereas our
That's right. It's your job.
volunteers, and I do truly believe in our program. This is genuine passion and excitement. But our volunteers, they truly see the benefits and they want to pay it forward and they want to give back. They have had many a conversation with chamber professionals who are finding it difficult to get that approval, to find that funding. So I know I'm volunteering our volunteers to
Right.
have those conversations. But if anyone listening really would like to be connected, definitely reach out and we can make those connections, because that is certainly an opportunity as well.
That's perfect. I'm so grateful for you sharing those different resources, not only from funding, but those connections to the volunteers and to really, I think, help have a good argument. So if you go to your board or you try to find that member to help finance, your tuition and travel and whatnot for Institute, to really have those talking points down of this is what you can expect out of me, going and getting educated and bringing this back to the community. So I wanted to ask, as far as the faculty goes and the curriculum, is it a set curriculum for each campus and by each week, I'll say, instead of year?
That's a great question. And yeah, I should dive into the curriculum. Absolutely. So it is a set curriculum. It's actually tied to the bodies of knowledge of the CCE, the Certified Chamber Executive Credential offered by ACCE. And then on the association side, which I realize your listeners are not on the association side, but I do need to mention because it is part of it, the Certified Association Executive Credential offered by ASAE. So we do have representatives from those two organizations who actually sit on our curriculum committee as well as our National Board of Trustees. And we make sure that we are in line with their bodies of knowledge, the trends and everything that they're hearing and experiencing throughout the industry, that Institute matches that, and that we are staying abreast of all the important topics and areas that we should be. So the curriculum is set, and our faculty members do go through a rigorous interview process, and they are selected and placed based upon a variety of factors, but one of which is area of expertise and experience. So based upon who is qualified to teach each certain class, they are given a syllabus where all of the classes have 3 or 4 course objectives. That's all the same throughout every institute site. Where it differs is the faculty members' own experience and perspective and presentation style. So they are asked to teach the same course objectives, but how they deliver that information and how they do their coursework and group work. I will say a big element of Institute that I had not yet mentioned is that it is very interactive. They are long
Yes.
days. It's 96 hours, as I mentioned, over the course of the 4 weeks, but each week is 24 hours. So attendees are in class starting at 8 a.m. Sometimes the longest day starts out very, very long, and then it gets shorter throughout the week, but it's until 6:15. So it's a lot. Obviously, there are breaks and meals and whatnot, but it's a lot of being in class and listening. So
The
we,
interactive part of it is
yes,
what helps build those
exactly.
relationships that you come out of it. And I guess if you're one on a fast track, where you're hopping around
Yeah,
to different campuses, you don't have the entitlement to say West is best or anything like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, maybe you do because you've tried them all, but you
Yeah.
don't have that
Mhm.
that same affiliation and affinity to the same group that you went through with. But the interactivity is what's going to build those bonds because you're working on these problems together and coming to solutions together as well.
Absolutely, exactly what you just said. So that engagement and that interactivity is so important, not only for growth and learning and sharing best practices, but candidly, just to get through the day. It's a long
Yeah.
day. So, it's not just our faculty who are amazing. It's not just them standing up in front of people lecturing for 3 hours. It's very interactive. So again, going back to your original question, the base curriculum is the same. However, you can take the same class at a different site, and sometimes people do. When I actually went through the program, I took the same elective because those are opportunities where you get to select. Whereas the core classes, they are assigned to you based on the year in the program of which you are. So I took the same elective multiple times and I got something different out of it each time because the faculty member changes, the world changes. I mean,
Right.
especially, these classes weren't around when I went, but the AI and, advanced technology classes, things are changing a mile a minute. So yes, the curriculum is the same and you can get different things out of it each time.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So this is going to be a loaded question, but as I see our time getting short, I
Sure.
wanted to see, is there anything else that we need to touch on as far as the Institute program for the listeners that you want to make sure that they know about and that we cover before we move on?
Yeah, thank you. Say the only other thing that I had not mentioned yet is that we do offer year round programming. So the Institute week itself, of course, is 5 days on site, very intensive. You are locked into those 5 days. For those who might not be able to make that commitment, whether it be financial, time, whatever it might be, we do have other opportunities that do take place year round that don't involve travel. So we have a monthly webinar series. We have our own podcast, which
Yeah.
hopefully, Brandon, you'll be a guest on soon.
Yeah.
And we have an Institute blog and we have our new Institute faculty office hours. And that is an opportunity for 3 to 5 is when we typically have 3 to 5 different faculty members. It's essentially an Ask Me Anything, an AMA session for an hour where attendees, prospects, graduates, volunteers, you don't even have to be connected to Institute. If you stumble upon it through LinkedIn, or maybe we'll get some new participants through the Chamber Champions, or excuse me, the Chamber Chat podcast.
Yeah.
And it's just an opportunity to chat with our faculty members. So all of these opportunities are free, and again, you don't even have to be affiliated with Institute. We hope that you become, but you don't have to be.
Right.
So.
No, those are great resources to plug and put out there. And I'm glad I asked that question.
Yeah, no, thank you. Didn't even
So
think about it.
maybe that took from your next answer, but I like asking everyone I have on the show, for those who are listening who want to take their organization up to the next level, what kind of tip or action item would you share with them as they strive towards that goal?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So aside from going to Institute,
Right.
which, I have to
Aside from the
say,
obvious.
really, and yeah, we've talked about this throughout the podcast, but leaning on your people, I'd say that would be my piece of advice or recommendation. That there's no silly question. I mean, again, to reiterate, the chamber industry is so unique and it's really unlike any others. Taking advantage of that network that you have, and if you don't already have a network, reach out, to your fellow chamber champions, and don't be embarrassed. Everyone who is in a position where they are now has likely already gone through the things that it's somebody newer to the chamber industry is going through now. So I would just say don't be shy and lean on your people.
Yeah, that's great. So my next question, I ask it to everyone I have on the show, but I'm interested in your perspective since you guys are keeping tabs on the trends that are going on in the chamber industry and everything. But
Yeah.
how do you see the future of chambers and their purpose going forward?
Hmm. I mean, see, the purpose of chamber care, certainty and changes and everything that's going on. I really do believe that people will continue to look to chambers to be that voice, that advocate, that convener in the business community. And I think that's such an important role that I really don't see going anywhere. Obviously, there are challenges and struggles in each organization, no matter how big your budget and what support you have from your board. Everyone's going to experience these challenges, but I think that makes it that much more important for members to show up and to provide these resources and to be advocates for your members, specifically the business community. So I really see chambers continuing to play this very important role. And I'm interested to see where it all goes. But
That's right.
I don't see us going any.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Well, I wanted to give you an opportunity, Karen, to share any contact information for listeners who might want to reach out and connect or learn more about the Institute program and enrolling or some of these other resources you offered. Where would you point them and what would be the best way for them to connect?
Absolutely. Thank you, Brandon. So, our website, I think, has all the information that you could ever want to know. It's institute.uschamber.com. You can also send us an email. Might be easier to remember at IOM@uschamber.com. And then follow us on socials. We're on LinkedIn and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. The handle is the same, IOM Educates with an S. And that is where we'll post all sorts of information about deadlines and registration launches and all of the opportunities to the programs that I mentioned previously with the faculty office hours and webinars, etc. All of those things are available to you. I highly recommend checking them out.
That's perfect. We'll get all of that linked in our show notes for this episode. But again, I wanted to thank you for setting aside some time and being with us today here on Chamber Chat Podcast and talking about all the wonderful benefits of the Institute program. And I hope that those listening take some action on this, whether it's, registering for Institute and, going all in, or showing up for a webinar and learning a little more, piquing that curiosity and building up, but learning more about how to better serve your community. And thank you again, Karyn, for being with us today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Brandon. Really appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
If you are a chamber professional, be sure to subscribe to Chamber Chat Podcast on your favorite podcast app or now on YouTube, so you never miss a new episode. New episodes are released each week and delivered right to you. If you're finding value in the podcast, please take a moment to leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. It really helps others discover the show. And most importantly, share Chamber Chat Podcast with your colleagues in the industry so we can continue to grow and strengthen the chamber community together.
This episode is brought to you by Riverside. If you've ever thought about starting a podcast for your chamber or your business, one of the biggest challenges is recording high-quality audio and video, especially when you and your guest aren't in the same room. Riverside is the platform I use to record every episode of the show. It gives you studio-quality audio and video right from your browser, automatically backs up your files, and even creates clips you can use on social media. It's designed to make podcasting simple and professional without the headaches. If you're ready to launch your podcast or upgrade your recordings, head over to chamberchatpodcast.com/riverside to get started today. Again, that's chamberchatpodcast.com/riverside, the same tool I trust to bring you these conversations every week.